Welcome to the ISN Community Film event interviews. My name is Fernanda Arce, and I am delighted to have with me today the winner of the 2021 Best Film at the ISN Community Film event, Dr. Roberto Pecoits-Filho, Professor of Medicine at the Catholic University of Paraná, Brazil. Welcome, Roberto.
Hi, Fernanda. Pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's start. Life beyond the transplant. What a touching story. It gives a glimpse to the audience of what it is to live with kidney disease in a limited resource country, but also gives us hope. So what does this mean for you as a doctor? And also, how was the experience for Silvia and Bruno to share their story with the world through the ISN Community Film event?
Right, yeah. So I guess the first thing is to, as a physician treating patients with chronic kidney disease, advanced kidney disease, is to think about our patients' perspective on their life journey living with kidney disease, and we live that in a regular basis. It's so common, but it's so different when you stop and you try to tell the story from a patient perspective. And that's the interesting thing, we had a great group working on this, and we were advised, both Rafael and myself, the two physicians who were involved in the project, to really not tell the story from our perspective, but let the patient tell the story. And that was I think changed everything to me, because I learned a lot from listening to patients. I think it's so common, that we see this kind of thing. I think we physicians, we tend to be, very proactive, in carrying things and treating patients. And I think this is just one more example that happened in my life as a physician, that I stepped back and I just opened my ears and listened to the story, and it was wonderful. Now, from their perspective, I think this is really, I think it was really a beautiful story, because, they actually, really share their stories in such a courageous way. And it was so strong, so powerful, to hear what they had to say about the expectation of a kidney transplant, which, if you go back to try to understand, all the alternatives that patients have, dialysis, home dialysis, and then you put the transplant into concept. And I realized, it's something that I knew already, but it became even a stronger message to me to understand how having the option of a kidney transplant is so important for patients, in terms of really trying to go back to a life that is closer to normal compared to what they have once they are on dialysis. And the third thing that I wanted to just, share here is more the opportunity of getting involved in that project more from an institutional point of view, just bringing awareness to the importance of organ donation, and making programs of clinical transplantation stronger within an organization, using the film as a way to really raise awareness about that.
Exactly. And I think that in just 7 minutes, you and the film touched so many important things, not just the life of the patient, but the wife, because it's not just the patient who is sick. It affects the family, the socioeconomic burden, having to choose if they eat or they do that dialysis. It's so strong and so true, because not many people have the chance to really look inside the life of a patient living with kidney disease.
I know. It was amazing, wasn't it? The wife perspective of things. I mean, first of all, I think it really brings to the attention of the public this unrecognized heroes who are caretakers and family of patients with chronic kidney disease. I think very rarely we think about then and we talk about then. And I think that story was very clear, that without his wife, he wouldn't be able to go through the struggles that are necessary. And I wonder, Fernanda, how difficult this would be for, thousands of patients who actually do not have family support. And I think you're absolutely right that this is another important message that we had in that film. And it brings to the attention of people watching the film, that we should really recognize, family members, caretakers more in general, as very important pieces in CKD care.
Exactly. And what did it mean to win the ISN Community Film event? Not just for you and your colleagues, but for Bruno and for Sylvia as well.
Oh, they were both so happy about it. It is a little bit of understanding, how impactful the story that they told was. Again, just going back to the beginning of our discussion, we let them tell the story. We really were in the background, just, providing like a frame to the story, but they were the ones narrating it and telling the world the story. And they couldn't believe when they heard about this, so it was super important. And also I think for the hospital that actually supported that idea, they were very happy about it too. And it was interesting to see, how much they used that just to have a winning story produced by, a group within the hospital system to bring that story as a way to support the cause of kidney transplantation.
And what would you like to share with the audience now? And do you invite them? Do you really invite them now after you won the ISN Community Film event to submit their films?
Yeah, I think people should do it. Just the other day I was involved in a meeting and they brought up like just another video, that was used just to create some discussion. I say, this kind of stuff, these stories, they need to be shared. And I think the ISN Film Festival is a great way of sharing the story very broadly. It is the real single global organization in nephrology. So what better platform to share a story globally than the ISN Film Festival? I think people should really consider that. And the other thing is that, it became so easy to film or to produce videos. People are doing that using their mobile phones. And that's what I usually say. And there was a discussion that we had with the producers that helped us in that movie production. Is that the important thing is more the story than the actual production of the technical aspects of the movie. So I think not only people should consider, because of the reasons we discuss here today, but they should also think about doing that even in simple ways, very very cheap, very simple. And I think it's more about the story, and it's more about the platform to make the story seen globally.
Exactly. The stories are there. They just need a mic and a platform, and the ISN is that.
Yeah.
Do you want to finish with anything else?
I think the last thing I wanted to say is just to thank our storytellers and actors in the film. Not actors. They're really the people telling their own story in that very short documentary. It's all about them, but I think it's much better when it's told by their perspective, and I think that's exactly what happened.
Well, thank you for your time today, Roberto. We invite our audience to submit your film for the 2023 ISN Community Film event by February 2, 2023. The winner will be announced and awarded during the ISN World Congress of Nephrology in Bangkok, Thailand, So let's submit and see the winner in 2023. Thank you.
Thank you.